Hi, everybody. It's Sarah May, and this is a podcast for Asha, and I hope this helps. Thank you for writing to me. And I'm calling it, I Thought I Had Everything Figured Out. So it's a pretty universal experience. You plan out your whole life. Everything's on track. You have it all pictured perfectly. And then seemingly out of nowhere and within what feels like a week, your whole life just unravels and the perfect picture falls apart. One minute you're winning at the game of life. You have the perfect career, the relationship, the paycheck, the perfect future. And the next, maybe you get fired, your partner dumps you, your bank account gets leveled. Suddenly the path you saw before you evaporates and you just feel like you have nothing at all. Losing your staples in life are the things that kind of defined to you, your personality. So it kind of forces you to look at everything differently. The people you hang out with, the restaurants you go to, your living situation as a whole, down to the way you spend a whole weekend. And it can make you feel very untethered. Or sometimes it'll make you feel just lost. And because you feel lost, you feel stuck because you don't know which direction to head into. You're suffering and you don't know how to fix it. So if you have kind of shattered future shell shock and you're not really sure what to do and you're in a lot of pain, I'm writing this for you. So firstly, I am so sorry. I know that this is extremely painful and I want you to know this pain will pass. Secondly, woot! I don't even know how to say that word, but woot! I am stoked for you. And I mean that for real, because even though you can't see it right now, know that this is probably the best thing that has ever happened to you. Your life just hit the reset button for you, and it's for a very good reason. And it's because you're destined for a life that is much greater than you could have dreamed up for yourself. And one day you're going to look back at the perfect life you once envisioned, and you'll be so grateful that you didn't end up living it. So I'm going to offer you in 3 parts the You Are Here, which is basically, I'm going to try and give you a little perspective on the timeline of this process so you can know that there's just an end coming up in sight. In part 2, I'm going to give you tools. And so I'm going to cover kind of steps you need to take in order to take care of yourself and kind of move through this time as efficiently as possible. And, you can also, if you are interested in more of those tools, I have a whole section on them in my book, which is called Help Me Be Me. It's Toolkit, and that is on my website, Teaspoon of Happy. And then part 3, I'm going to give you kind of comfort and optimism because I know that right now is probably the toughest time you've ever experienced in your life. And that's partly because you're mourning. And that means you have to feel the sadness. You have to move through it. And that pain can be almost unbearable. So I know you are suffering, but know that it's temporary. This is a time in your life that will pass and it won't feel like this anymore. And you are going to look back at this and be amazed that you were ever here at one point in your life. So the things you're mourning, know that they're not meant to be. The universe has something much greater in store for you. And it just doesn't feel like that at this moment in time. You might be thinking, but I loved my life. I want it back. And this is terrible. And I'm suffering. Or maybe you're just in pain. And I don't discount that feeling. And I want to offer you a way to just manage the pain right now. Because I'm not asking you to change your perspective on your entire life. Because I'm sure the life you built it for a reason. And very good reasons. I just want to offer you a different way to look at your situation. And then also ask you to please take aggressive steps at taking care of yourself right now. It's super important that you do that because it'll cut the time of pain in half. You have to just literally force yourself to be really, really, really good at taking care of yourself right now. And it's really worth it. Because it'll speed along all of just the stuff you got to deal with right now. It'll just cut that time in half. So no matter how good a reason you do have to wallow in pain. I'm sure it's very, very good reason. No matter how many people tell you they feel bad for you and how valid your suffering is, don't allow yourself to dwell. Don't allow yourself to wallow. Just be really, really militant with yourself about pushing yourself to get out of bed, pushing yourself to go out with friends, even if you don't want to. All that stuff is really important. So you're in shock right now over what you believe you had in reality and you didn't have. Your life is much more intact than it feels like right now. It's just a lot of things layered on top of each other that are making it feel like, oh my God, I have nothing to live for. I hope you don't feel that way. But anyway, let's keep going. I'm going to get through step 1, which is what I need you to do right now if you have not already done it. And this is something I think you just have to push yourself to do, even though it might feel uncomfortable. And that is build a support system. So get out your friend list and your cell phone and just start contacting people who could be with you during this window of time at random times when you're going to need friends. So if you don't have family and friends that are supportive, you're going to reach out and build a network of new ones. So don't roll your eyes. Yes, it can be awkward to do this, but just get over it right now. Just kind of like this. Hello?
Hey, it's me. It's Adam from voiceover class.
Oh, right. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just went through some big life changes, including a breakup. So I'm in that mode of just, reconnecting with friends that I've lost touch with, and wanted to see if you had any interest in, seeing a movie or going to the beach or something.
Force yourself to reach out to people and inform them of your situation and your emotional state. So just tell them what's going on. And as many people as possible. Even if they have their own relationships or their perfect lives or their own problems, don't make up an excuse for them because that's not your right to speak for them. So you should just ask for help, ask for the support you need, ask them to hang out with you on the weekend, when you whatever time you would have otherwise been in your old routine that you think might be painful for you. So you might actually find that a lot of the people you didn't anticipate will be there for you will be there for you. All these different people will show up, and it might actually change your relationships for the better moving forward, just this process. So don't edit the list, even if they're, quote, casual friends or work friends. Don't interpret what they are willing to do for you. That's not your job. Your job is not to think for other people, it's to think for yourself. So you just need to gather as many supporters for you in your painful times as you possibly can. And just get over looking lame, throw that out the window. So if you happen to find in this process that you cannot rely on anybody at all in your friend group, enough to, or maybe it's just not enough to fill your own time, then I suggest get a book and practice going out by yourself, because it's not a big deal, and it's definitely not a big deal if you get used to it. I mean, it's like I would say the first 3 times it's probably a little bit uncomfortable, actually really uncomfortable. But if you have a prop like a book, it's no biggie. We're modern now. It's not like a big deal. It's only a big deal in your mind because your filter is telling you that that's a really important thing to like be with somebody else. But just get in the habit of being able to be out and about and doing activities, and don't make it contingent on somebody else being with you. Find one restaurant or one place that you can go that feels welcoming, that is not inside of your house. So somewhere in public where there are other humans. All right, ready? Let's keep going. Step number 2, build a routine. So this is what you need to do in the void of all the other stuff you used to do. So you're going to basically create a schedule, an itinerary for yourself if you need it, that you are going to fill with new healthy habits and maybe new classes and supportive self-care activities. So you get a schedule from every, gym or yoga studio or whatever in your neighborhood, and have a calendar where you know all of the classes when they're happening. Make sure you have one happiness-generating activity a day minimum, and try and book up all of your weekends and especially the nights as much as possible. So have options for the times that you know you will get super low, and force yourself to be around people. So just have a bunch of activities, as many as you possibly can. And then I also recommend, I will ask you to actually get a stack of your favorite movies, like DVDs. And I recommend comedies, not romantic comedies, because for obvious reasons, but have a stack of funny movies, lighthearted movies, animated movies that you can watch almost on repeat. So things you love, and then just have them standing by when you need them. And then positive podcasts that you can listen to. Just download, I don't know, a day's worth of listening, just so you have it there, and keep that at the ready. Know you have that. Okay, that was step 2. Moving on. Step 3, lovingly romance yourself. So right now, of all times, just be nice to you. And just all the pressure you might put on yourself to be something, or to be in a certain place, or to have certain things, whatever it is, just put them aside right now. And allow yourself just to take care of yourself and be gentle on yourself right now. And I want you to do as much of any kind of self-love practice you possibly can. Make it a priority. So you're going to spend this time, this window of time in your life, as basically the best friend to yourself that you dreamt of. And you're going to get to know you again in like kind of like a falling in love sort of way. It's just going to be minus all the other stuff that you used to identify as who you were. So you're going to do things, you're going to make it a really high priority in your life to do things that make you happy, things that soothe your body and enrich any and all tokens of your personality. So for example, if you've always liked horror movies, buy a ticket to a horror convention. Or get the dorky Evil Dead the musical shirt you had your eye on, but you knew you'd get made fun of by your ex for wearing it. Whatever it is, be the most you have ever been. And now is the time you're just going to wear it loud. So in the alone time, just have lots of activities planned for yourself, almost like you're courting yourself. So things like, if you want to take a YouTube lesson on learning how to play the piano, or if you want to download a bunch of educational podcasts or inspirational topics, and whatever it is, like have little romantic activities. Like I like to do my nails and have candles and like a glass of wine, or like if it's taking a bath, or just things that have to do with soothing your body and being really loving to your physical body go a long way. I also recommend getting a journal, because it's helpful to talk to yourself in that way about what you like, what you love, what you want more of. And then I recommend getting comfortable talking out loud to yourself, because it's just, you can crack yourself up sometimes. So just have fun. Try and have fun by yourself. Have fun with you and entertain you. So eat foods that you enjoy, and eat foods that are really good for you, especially right now. And that's a big one, because things like processed food can induce depression and also anxiety. And you need to keep your chemicals balanced right now, especially. So I recommend, if you haven't listened to the mind-body connection, which was like the last podcast episode, there's a lot of stuff about that in that episode. And there's also a blog about it. So once you get happy just hanging out, having you time, and being solo, you're going to kind of start to hit a high of sorts. Like you're going to kind of love it, and you're going to not want it to end. It's almost like you're going to miss it one day when it's not just you alone. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So moving on, the next part I just want to address, because I know it's on the top of mind for a lot of people. How am I going to deal with the holidays? So I just want to tell you all the stuff about a significant other and how important it is, especially at the holidays. It's coming from a stereotype that we just have about what we are supposed to be like. It's not true. It's not real. It's something that you perceive that is on the top of everybody's mind, but in reality, it's not. So you're kind of like, it's a very sore spot just because of the place you are in your life right now. And I'm not discounting that it's sad when you enjoy a holiday with somebody else, or that you're apart from somebody you love for so many years, but just don't get caught up on the should have or what other people think part of this, because there's no such thing and there's nothing weird about it at all. I mean, if your filter was set to the opposite, if you were looking for people that are alone on the holidays, you would see that there's a bajillion of them in your life. It's just, it's coming from a focus that and a pain that you feel right now. And if you're more sensitive to the holiday thing because you have family pressures, like that's a whole different thing. And I know that can be really rough. Like, and that can be even more rough than your own disappointment about your life not going as you planned. So, I will hopefully give you a tool or two to deal with that specifically. Just because you need to avoid any inclination to talk down or think down on yourself and your life, because it's a blessing. It doesn't feel like it right now. I'm going to stay on track. So here are a couple of tools for if your family is the one that's kind of looking down on you or making you feel guilty or bad about your life not being perfect. So here's one way to take it. So when are you going to get married?
I'm single, actually, so not anytime soon.
Oh no, what happened to that nice girl? She was so sweet. What happened?
Oh, yeah, typical grown-up stuff. But I'm doing well, thanks. And I'm taking a new pottery class. I made a coaster last week. It's blue. Here, I have a photo.
Oh, that's fantastic. The terms by which we believe we're supposed to live are all culturally created, and it's almost like all the things that mean your success in life, they'll change with the fashion and with religion or with different cultures. It's like, it's not real. They're all made up. So just keep that in mind. I know acknowledging that you don't want to talk about something can actually make you wear that pain even more. So as an alternative, here is another tool. It's just simple redirection. So have a prop ready with you, whatever family occasion it is, or a story that's already in your mind and it's ready before you walk in the door. So just prepare yourself with some sort of redirection you're going to use. For example,
"Hi, Sarah. Where's your lovely other half?"
He couldn't make it. Such a bummer. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask about your surgery. I hear it went well. I actually watched a documentary about that recently, and medicine today, it's just amazing. How are you feeling? And if too much talking is tough, then a good standby is always...
I am super sorry. My friend is calling me right now. They're going through some big stuff. I have to take this. I'm so sorry.
And if you feel weird about all of this, just let the crap go. Just put yourself out there for you and just protect yourself. Know that you are allowed to take care of yourself at all costs. So let go of what other people think of you and just put you first. Protect yourself and demonstrate to you that you are loved and that your feelings are important. So don't subject yourself to emotional torture, and don't allow yourself to feel anything you don't want to feel that comes from someone else. And that's what a good friend would do. And that's what you need to do for you, especially right now. So just in general, I want you to use this chapter of your life as kind of an incubation period for the best you yet. So just grow close with yourself again and grow who you are in all ways, professionally, spiritually, socially, creatively, and say yes to all fun and newness. Because if you start to feel yourself floating back to sadness, you can stop and you can distract your attention. And you literally have to just retrain your mind and instead look ahead at what's new and exciting and inspiring. So allow yourself to cry when you need to and mourn when you need to. And just feel good about that. And know that it is wonderful to have pain, because it means you feel the fullness of love and happiness. Your pain is in proportion to your capacity to love and to feel joy. So that's just the other side of the coin. but it's a gift that you possess. It's not a curse. It means you are passionate and you feel love, that you have loved. So this moment in your life is a gift, and you have been given an amazing opportunity to grow. So don't look at this as a failure of any sort, because it has nothing to do with being good at something. It has to do with something just being right. And that is something you cannot see or know from this point in your life, because right now you have to gather a few more pieces of the real you. You will eventually reach personal awesomeness 5000 and embrace that it is unknown to you right now. You cannot control the future, and just celebrate that fact, because this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you one day when you look back on it. When we control our lives and we decide our future, we can only do so based on our past learning, and that's just a limited vision. We can't imagine something so outside of our realm, something so grand and so perfect, because at this stage it's still incomplete. So once you grow and you change and you just open yourself to anything and everything, the universe delivers a much better fate. And it's one that you would never anticipate or envision, because it was just too awesome, or maybe too improbable to you, or just too outside of your viewpoint right now. So if you got to decide everything that ever happened in your life, you would get shorthanded. So just let go of knowing right now and go easy on yourself. Right now, you've just got to pass the time with as much grace as you can muster. So just take everything a little bit at a time. You don't have to tackle the future, just tackle today. And I truly believe you are in for so much more happiness right now. And there's something in you that is waking up. There's a shift in perspective that is happening, and it's just stirring the mud at the bottom of your crystal clear pond. So it's a little bit murky right now. So you can't quite tell which direction to go. And that means you just got to wait it out and trust that you will when it's ready. It's just for now, work on just being with yourself exactly where you are right now, without hating on it or pushing yourself to solve it. You've just got to have time to let the mud settle. And then one day you'll realize you're a completely different person, and you will forget you ever felt this pain. You'll be amazed at how awesome your life is, and you will be happy. Well, I feel for you, and I hope this helped you, and I will be thinking of you. I'm sending you my love, and I want you to know you will get through this. So just push yourself hard to take care of yourself and go easy on yourself. So anyway, I will post this in blog form on teaspoonofhappy.com and also on Hello Giggles. So if you would like to also get the Sunday newsletter, you can subscribe on my website. And if you liked this, please review me on iTunes, because it helps me a lot and also makes me feel great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and most importantly, please smile.